It's October 26th, 2021, and this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Brian Troxell. On Friday, Wisconsin released the result of their nonpartisan audit of the 2020 presidential election. Winning by a landslide, University of Wisconsin mascot Bucky Badger. All hail President Bucky. UNICEF reported that more than 10,000 children have been killed during the war in Yemen, which is 10,000 more than the amount of people who know there is a war in Yemen. The White House announced they are delaying the release of long classified documents relating to President Kennedy's 1963 assassination in order to, in their words, protect against identifiable harm. Hey, White House, Kennedy's already been assassinated. I'd say the harm's been done. U.S. intelligence agencies said China's launch of a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile came as a big surprise, but not as surprised as Kamala Harris at her fake surprise birthday party. She yelled surprise to herself. A juror in the Elizabeth Holmes fake blood test, fake deep voice, billion-dollar ripoff trial was released after it was revealed she was playing Sudoku rather than paying attention to court proceedings. She's the third juror to be released from the trial. 2 previous jurors were caught playing Minecraft. New documents show Apple once threatened to pull Facebook from its App Store because people were using the platform for human trafficking in the Middle East. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg convinced Apple to relent because the human traffickers did have 5-star reviews. Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen testified before British Parliament Monday, warning that anger and hate is the easiest way to grow on Facebook. From his home in Palo Alto, California, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg responded by retreating further into his hoodie. Haugen had to take several breaks during her testimony as she was getting winded from talking with her hands so much. The 117th World Series will pit the American League champion Houston Astros against the National League champion Atlanta Braves. We go now to Sketchworks NewsBrake sports reporter John D. Babcock III, who, I believe, is reporting from the Braves' home stadium, Truist Park.
That's right, Brian. I'm reporting to you from Truist Park, where on October 29th, Game 3 of the 2021 World Series will be played. This is the first World Series that this park has ever seen. And I am forbidden from getting any closer than this bridge to that park. See, what happened is when it looked like there was going to be a World Series coming here, I called the front office and I said, hey, how about some press passes? That'd be great. And they said, sorry, only legitimate news organizations. And I said, well, wait a minute. NewsBrake has been going since February 2020. That's almost 2 years. We get tens of views a week. I said, I think we were warranted some press passes. And they said, sorry, we've never heard of you. And that's kind of when I said some things that I probably should not have said. But I said them anyway, and I got banned from getting any closer than this bridge to that park. So very sorry for that, but we're not going to be there in person. I'll be watching at home like most people. Coming to you from this bridge by Truist Park, John D. Babcock III with NewsBrake Sports.
Sports. Thank you, Babs, for that disappointing report. Hopefully you got that woman's number for me, though. Moderna announced that its COVID-19 vaccine is both safe and effective for kids aged 6 to 11. None of the 5-year-olds survived, though. However, the vaccine still doesn't work on preventing cooties. A federal judge says Oklahoma can proceed with executing 5 death row inmates who objected to lethal injections. Neighboring Texas plans to execute 10 people so it doesn't feel left out. A Dutch entrepreneur has invented a rig which has successfully cleaned 20,000 pounds of trash from the Pacific Ocean in its first trial run. Good news, everyone! We can keep throwing away all that plastic and not feel bad about it. When asked where this garbage will go now that it's out of the ocean, the inventor replied with the shoulder shrug emoji. I owe Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard an apology. As you may or may not remember, I sent him to a 5-star hotel experience last week, which turned out to be 2.5 stars at best. So this week, I graciously paid for Tim to have a 5-star destination experience.
Florida? Thanks, Brian.
An air mattress? Thanks, Brian.
80-degree temperatures in the fall? Thanks, climate change. And thanks, Brian.
You're welcome, Tim. The UN's climate agency says greenhouse gases hit a new record high last year. Sounds like a reason to celebrate by burning coal, spraying aerosols, and generally just destroying the environment. As I'm doing right now, just below camera level. An erupting volcano on a Spanish island is more dangerous than ever, as it is now spewing what's described as a giant lava fountain. However, it's still safer than trying the giant chocolate fountain at Golden Corral. Speaking of sweet treats, Kellogg's is facing a $5 million lawsuit for not having enough strawberries in its Pop-Tarts. The class action lawsuit was filed in Southern Illinois by Anita Harris, who apparently doesn't have anything better to do with her time. After dressing up as a ghost for Day of the Dead celebrations in Mexico, a woman was shot dead by her scared neighbor. But it's not all bad news. At least next year she won't have to buy a costume.
And happy Halloween.
Halloween is this Sunday. Now don't worry, there's plenty of time for you to go to church in the morning and then do your Satan worshiping in the evening. Or as some call it, trick-or-treating. Here now is Allie O'Neill's second installment of Halloween on a Budget. Tell us, Allie, what do you put in the bowl? Allie? Oh, I get it. Nothing goes in the bowl. Thanks, Allie. Since everyone will be wearing costumes this weekend, this next segment of Sketchworks NewsBrake is Dressed Up Like Animals. Yay, animals. In a study published by some science journal, as a result of widespread poaching, elephants have evolved to not grow tusks. Oh, if only they evolved to have bulletproof skin instead. 100 hippos, descendants of hippos once owned by late drug lord Pablo Escobar, have been recognized as legal persons in the U.S., a decision which caused thousands of Afghan refugees to say, "Wait, what now?" 13 of the hippos were detained, however, for attempting to smuggle condoms filled with cocaine in their anuses. Police in North Carolina had to detain an alligator that was trying to break into a community pool. But that's what he gets for not keeping up to date on his HOA fees. Scientists are looking for volunteers to scour through thousands of satellite images of the Arctic to help them count marine mammals, such as walruses. I guess we now know what the millions of people who have quit their jobs and Anita Harris of Southern Illinois can do with their time. Yesterday, I counted 4. Last Thursday, Spanish researchers in the Alboran Sea encountered a 2,200-pound sunfish entangled in a tuna net. The researchers managed to free the sunfish, who swam away without even saying gracias. Sunfish are so ungrateful. A new study shows that men with dogs in their dating profile pictures are more likely to settle down, as opposed to dogs with men in their pictures who are just looking to bone. Do you have a favorite animal? If so, mention it in the comments section below. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and ding all the things. Welcome back. I hope your thing dinging went well. Actor Harrison Ford finally has the credit card he lost while on a trip to Italy, thanks to a German tourist who found it. Ford plans to thank the tourist by taking him for a ride on his plane, and then scaring the hapless tourist to death by almost hitting another plane while landing. Hey! Are you kicking yourself because you missed out on buying the house used in the movie Silence of the Lambs? Don't worry! Here's another opportunity to buy a piece of Hollywood horror history. The Los Angeles home used for the 1984 movie A Nightmare on Elm Street is currently for sale. The owners are looking for $3.5 million for the house Freddie built. $3.5 million? In your dreams. The state of Minnesota is lobbying Congress to honor Prince with a congressional gold medal, while Michael Jackson's bankrupt and abandoned hometown of Gary, Indiana, is begging Congress to please put them out of their misery. Voters in Maine will decide whether to amend the state's constitution to give people the right to food. Supporters say it simply gives people the right to decide how and what they eat. Not eating your vegetables will finally be patriotic. Meanwhile, in the state of Ohio, there were more deaths in 2020 than births. So if you're looking for sex, don't go to Ohio. And that's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. I'm Brian Troxell. Say hi to your mom for me. Unless she lives in Ohio.
What a relief. Georgia! Thanks, Brian.